Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome to today's video. Today's video came about simply because over the last couple of weeks, I've had a few conversations with people and they've kind of like gone over what I'm going to talk to you about today and about how they get judged and people's feelings and people's views about coming out here to Thailand. So I thought, well, let's just see what it's like because I've done a video similar to this a long time ago, a few years back now. And I thought, well, let's just relive this video. Let's see where we are with things today and if things have changed since when I did the video a few years back. So when you come out here, what are you judged as by the people you're leaving behind? You know, are you that dirty old man, or are you that man that's living the dream? And what actually happens here is far different to what people consider happens when they're back home and they've never been out here. And I thought, well, let's just discuss this. So imagine for a second, you're back home, and let's just say you've reached the ripe age of retirement. Well, what do you do with your life? Where do you go with it? Are you now going to be chained to the local where you're going to sit down there and drink yourself your Friday afternoon drink and your Saturday afternoon drink, then go home lonely and sit alone because, sadly, maybe your partner died or your wife's died or maybe you're single? Why should you sit there and let your life just flitter away until it's time to say the final goodbye? Alternatively, when you consider an older person, I'll go through the benefits of being an older person in a second, but alternatively, why don't you come out here and enjoy your life? What is wrong with that? Particularly if you're older now and your kids have grown up, you've paid off your mortgage, financially you're secure, and there you're just sitting there. Obviously, if you've got family, I know you want to be around your family, but when you come out here, why are you a dirty old man? It just makes no sense to me. I've been here many, many years, and I've never to this day ever seen any woman kicking and screaming, being dragged down the road against her will to go off with somebody that she doesn't want to go to. It's always the other way around in terms of the fact that the girls will always pick whether they want to go with you or not. And that's a very vital key point to this. So now let's paint the picture. Option one, you've got your older guy sat in his local waiting to do the meat draw to win a leg of lamb, to go home, cook it on his own, watch TV on his own and go to sleep on his own. Option two, you've got a guy that doesn't really care about leg of lamb because he'll go down to the sportsman and they'll do a great Sunday roast and he'll get him to cook it for him. Meanwhile, he'll walk down the road with a beautiful woman in his arms, go home and have a great time. Why is that a dirty old man? How is that possibly not a good thing? So let's talk about this scenario about being a dirty old man. The girls. I spoke to loads and loads of girls over the years, loads. And something that I think, if you're not out here, if you've never been out, I think something that will be very difficult for you to understand is the girls out here, generally speaking, prefer older men. Now, you might be thinking, well, hang on, I don't believe that. But they do. And they do it for a few reasons. Let's take this young man, okay? Let's go with the young man first. Now, the first question I get asked is, why don't girls prefer Thai men and why do they look for foreign men? Simply because Thai men, in general, and I'm not saying it's a given rule, but in general, the girls that I've ever spoken to have all said the same situation. Their boyfriend's a butterfly. He's got what they call mia noi. Mia noi is like a girl on the side. They like just going off drinking all the time. They don't really take care of the family. There's a lot of things that the girls tell me that are very common situations with the Thai men. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying what they told me. So when you're thinking from a girl's point of view, she's got a young Thai man, and he's constantly out with his mates drinking and getting drunk and getting into trouble. She often will have a baby, and, the situation with babies out is far different from back in the UK. Certainly in the UK, I don't know about around the world, I guess around the world really, but, in terms of parenting, the Thai young men that I'm told, they often just go off and do their own thing, don't really care about the baby, and they let the family deal with that, mum and dad and the girl who's had the baby. And, out here, it's just a different way of life. Now, take a young tourist. You might be a young tourist. Yes, you are going to get bucket loads of attention. There's no doubt about that. But the attention is based on the day-to-day activities. It's not based on long-term. And it's very rarely they look at a younger guy for a long-term relationship that's a foreigner, simply because they judge him to be the same as what would be in a Thai relationship, a Thai and a Thai. Now we take the older guy. The older guy, by now, let's say you're 50 plus. Let's say you're 50 plus. Oh, but that's the age we can get your retirement visa. So let's go with 50 plus. Now you might have had a very successful career. You might be a very successful person in terms of financially, if you're very viable and very wealthy, which is fine. Good luck to you and fair play to that. But then, when you come out here at 50, do you really want to be going to Hawaii bar, insomnia, 808 candy shop night after night after night? Chances are, no. Do you want to go out and get hammered every night? After a while, once you live here, it becomes more of a pain in the backside than it does become an enjoyable situation, because you think, I can't be bothered. I'll go out again and I'm going to wake up with a hangover, all the other things that go wrong. So now you can start to see the girls here, the younger girls are thinking, well, hang on, this guy's got money and he's going to take care of me. So that's not a bad thing. He doesn't want to go out partying all night long. So they start to picture this vision that the older guy is a far better situation for them to look at and consider than a young Thai lad or a younger tourist. And now for that reason, you see this guy walking down the road, let's say you're 50 or 60, and you might be walking down the road with a 30-year-old. And I'll cover being a bit younger than that in a second. But right now, age. We've got this big thing in the world about age. Age is just a number. It really is just a number. It doesn't matter what age you are, within reason, and I'll come to this in a second, within reason. But if there's a 20-year age gap or a 30-year age gap, so what? So what does it matter? Why does that make you a dirty old man? You know, the trolls out there, they just love it. They jump on it. Oh, yeah, look at you. You're just doing this. Half of them have never even been here. They just jump on the bandwagon because they think they're clever. Why waste your time abusing somebody that you've never met and you don't actually know? But yet they cast their judgments, which often, and quite often, does put people off coming out. And I really wish it wouldn't. I really wish people say, do you know what, to hell with what people think, I'm coming out. Now, going back to the age part, the reason I say about 30 plus is if you're 50 and pushing on, you don't really want to be involved with a younger girl that's younger than 30, in my opinion. And I'll tell you the reasons why. Number one, most of the younger girls are still out there wanting to party. Most of the younger girls don't really have a lot of conversation skills in terms of English with you, so therefore then there's going to be a bit of a language barrier. And also, are you really going to have anything in common with a young 20-year-old girl? Because you've had your life, you've lived your experience, you've got a lot of things you can relate to and a lot of things you can talk about, a lot of scenarios that you would have encountered over your years. But you can't relay that down to a younger girl, in my opinion. For me, the age gap's got to be within 20 to 30 years max. But at the end of it, if you can find and relate to a girl that's over 20 and, you know, is happily a consenting adult and is okay with situations and wants to have a relationship, well, okay, that's down to you guys. But for me, I think in honesty, 30, 35, 40, that age pushing up, that's far more achievable in terms of a long-term relationship. There's also this situation, this scenario about the girls, you know, they're money grabbers, they just want your money, they want the money. Come on, guys, let's be fair. If you're going to judge the guys that come out and say they're dirty old men and they're buying these ladies, well, have a think back home and just be a bit more true to yourself. When you walk into a bar in London, in America, wherever you are, and you see an attractive woman and you want to think, oh, I'd like to get to know her, she's pretty, why don't you go up to her and just say hello? Offer to buy a drink. Why don't you just go and sit down and say, may I join you? Can I buy you a drink? When you're saying, I want to buy you a drink, what are you actually saying? Let's be honest. Now, let's not kid each other. What are you actually saying? You're actually saying, well, I'd like to buy you a drink on the possibility that I can get to sort of talk to you. From that may lead to other things where we might find we've got things in common, buy you some more drinks. From that may lead to, let's go out for some food, let's go out and party and dance away. And from that, where's your end goal? Where is your end goal? And also, while you're talking about the end goal, let's just reverse it around a bit. Imagine you do all of that, and then at the end of the night, she says, right, love, cheers, thanks very much, I'm off. We've all had it. We've all had it. You know, I'm sure somebody can share stories where you've thought you're on to a winner, and you're just hanging in there right till the early hours of the morning, and then suddenly it's like, hasta la vista, baby, I'm out of here. Well, over here it's slightly different. Particularly if you're in the bar scenario. If you're in the bar scenario, it's slightly different because you can already preempt that situation. You can always find out first and ask that, you know, if I buy you some drinks later, would you like to go out? Would you like to have some fun? And they'll be up front with you, they'll tell you yes or no. And there's many other situations you're going to encounter when you come out here, and I'll go through a quick one before I forget about this one. But at the end of the day, this is in the initial stage, it's a business transaction. It is simply the girl will want to make you feel happy, and you will provide her with a financial compensation. But if you build up a long-term relationship, it is far, far different. It's far, far different. If you build up a long-term relationship with a Thai woman, I can honestly say, providing you get the right one, and that's down to you guys, but providing you find someone that you're compatible with, and providing you find someone that you can have a good life with, trust me, life will be good. Thai women are very homely. I know you've got to get out of this situation here in the red light area. Get out of that. Thai women are very homely. They like to be at home, taking care of their family, taking care of the children, making sure the house is nice and clean and cooking food. And they like to go sit down with their other family friends and just chat and talk away. That's real life. People say to me, don't you get bored when I go home? No, not at all. I love it. When I go home, I love it because I'm able to sit down, to relax, to chill out. I don't get pestered by loads of things when I'm walking down the road, like girls shouting at you and cars bibbing past me and all the motorbikes trying to run me over, all that kind of stuff. I don't get any of those things. When I'm at home, I'm in a very much more peaceful surrounding. And because I've been there a few years, a lot of the Thai people know me. They realise that they know I can speak Thai. So it's nice. You've got to have a nice, normal network. But when you go back to a European relationship, is it the same? Or is it like a 50-50 relationship? Or maybe, because in some cases, the woman might be the better money earner, maybe you're the one that's at home having to scrub and clean the floors. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out. It's a bit of a weird video today, as I say. It was just something that came up in conversations and we started to, I thought, well, I want to throw this out on the channel. Let's just see, what do people think? What do people react to? Well, how do you feel? But for me, a Thai relationship, and I'm talking about 30, 35, 40 plus woman, for me, I think that's fantastic. Thai women naturally look amazing for their age. They really do. There's Thai women here I could introduce you to that are in their 40s and you'd think they're in their 20s. And of course, that doesn't help you because when you're walking around and she is in her 40s, but she looks like she's in her 20s, and you're in your 50s or 60s or 70s, you're going to be that day old man. So it does work against you. Maybe you should get to wear a hat and sunglasses and stuff and hide her out. But do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get my point? And I want to just quickly go over this part because I had a guy come into the buzzing lounge the other day. A really, really nice guy, genuinely nice guy, just first time out here and was really still basing all of his actions and all of his thought processes on a European situation. In other words, when a girl picked him, but when he walks in, so let me paint the scenario. So when you walk into a bar, there'll be many girls if you're in this area, and one girl may well follow you in. And it might not be the girl of your choice, it might be the girl you think, oh, not really. And now you start to get feelings. And what I'm saying by feelings is you'll get the feeling where, well, I can't tell her to go away. That's really rude. Remember, this is a business transaction. The girls are working in the bars to earn money. They normally earn their money by ways of getting drinks. So they'll sit down with you, hi, hello, what's your name? And they'll expect you or wait for you to buy them a drink. But if that girl isn't somebody that you want to spend a bit more time with, you can just be upfront and say, I'm okay, thank you very much, but could you send your friend over? And when I said this to him, he's like, oh, I can't be doing that. No, God damn, that's so oh no. Trust me, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. There are some bars you're going to go into where the mama-san will ring the bell and all the girls will line up. And that is quite a precious situation. However, you're still quite able to say to the mama-san, I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay. Don't be put into this scenario where you're being moved into a scenario that you don't actually want to be in. Remember, it's your money. You've worked hard for it. Spend it as you wish. So in terms of the girls, if you are going into a bar, the easiest way to deal with it is if the girl catches your eye as you're walking down the street, you think, oh, she's quite attractive. I'd like to go and sit down with her and buy her a drink. Just walk up to her and say, hi, would you like to come in and can I buy you a drink? She's going to say yes. She's very, very rarely will ever get a no. So, in that situation, just be polite. Hi, can I buy you a drink? And she'll lead you into the bar. If you're one of the go-go bars and she's dancing on the stage, just say to her, would you like a drink? Come sit down. Yeah, okay, no problem. Remember, it's a business transaction. Now, if that business transaction develops into a long-term relationship, well, then that's down to you guys. But what I will do is say this. Be very careful. Please don't overcommit. Please don't spend more money than you want because, there is a strong likelihood and quite possible situation where things may not work out as well as you hope they would. And unfortunately, it ends in tears and quite a lot of times it ends in your money gone. So, if you are looking for a long-term relationship, please don't come and look in the bar areas where you think you're going to get rolled over. Take your time. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to the bars and find a long-term relationship. I'm sure many of you guys have. That's a good question then. Right, I'm going to put it up front, guys. If a guy on here kindly shares that, yep, I'm married to an ex-bar girl, we've been married X amount of years, if you abuse him, I'll just block you from the channel. So please don't do that, guys, because it's quite simply, and this is the whole point, we're a community, and I just want to share experiences. So, at the end of the day, if you saw my first video, taken for a mug, which I did, she done me. Fair play. I came over here in my 40s. She was in her 20s. and it just didn't work out. And all right, okay, it cost me a house and a few other bits and pieces. But at the end of the day, that was my gullibility. I was being very gullible, and I was a newbie, so I didn't know what was happening. But at the end of the day, it can happen. I know there are guys there that have been in a relationship, long-term relationship with a bar girl, and it does work. But all I'm saying to you guys is just take your time, step by step, day by day, work it out. We had that 3-day rule. We call it a 3-day rule for a simple reason. Is after 3 days of being with the same girl, feelings start to come involved, and it's just it's hard. It's hard to step away. So, theme of the topic: are you really a dirty old man, or are you actually living the dream and the other people are just jealous? I think personally they're jealous. I really am. I think they're jealous. I think wherever you are in the world, the concept's the same in terms of buying a drink, sitting down, hello, blah, 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 away you go. Out here, we cut out that stuff, and it's a much more simplistic and much more easily understandable scenario. So, there we are. I'm sorry about today's video, guys. I just wanted to talk about it because, sometimes these things come up in conversations and you think to yourself, God, yeah, that's a really good point. And like I say, the last couple of weeks, I've had a few of these conversations where people saying, I told my wife I'm playing golf in Marbella. She doesn't know I'm here. And another guy said, I'm out here on my own, and all my mates are mocking me at work, saying, here you go, going to go get your lady boy. That's the other common one. And you're coming out here, you got to be with a lady boy. And it has to happen. I mean, there's no way you can ever defend yourself. Oh yeah, sure she will. Yeah, he's got a lady boy. It's crazy. These judgmental people are crazy, and I just can't think to myself, why would you possibly waste a moment of your life abusing someone that A, you don't know, and B, assuming what you think just because you can assume and you don't actually know? Crazy. All right, there we are. It's enough about that for me now. I got me a soapbox today. Sorry, guys. Anyway, right, that's it for me. So please, as always, guys, if you would like to join our newsletter, we have a monthly newsletter that we send out every month at the end of every month. Please send me an email, 247pattaya@gmail.com, and all you got to do is just put in the title of the email newsletter. That's it. Don't need to write anything else. Just put newsletter, send the blank email. Once it gets through to me at my side, then what we'll do is Bo will add you to our mailing list, and she will send you out your newsletter at the end of every month. It's a really good newsletter. There's lots of information in there. There's videos and stuff like that. Click through to links and stuff and see. But yeah, if you'd like to be involved in that, guys, just send me an email. All right. Thank you very much indeed for watching, guys. Please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. If you haven't already, have a look at our Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram. That's all about the nightlife here in Pattaya. There's some great videos in there you really enjoy. So have a look at that. There's a link down below. Likewise, please follow us on TikTok. On TikTok, it's all about daytime stuff. Beaches, restaurants, hotels, things to do, tourist attractions, viewpoints. So have a look on our TikTok and please follow us on that one. And if you haven't already, join us on Discord. We've got over 20,000 members in Discord. It's a completely free service. It's a great platform. There's many rooms there, lots of rooms you can find, lots of information. You're planning a trip, you can jump in and ask questions, etc. So please have a look at that, guys. And if you'd like to support me in the channel, please become a member here on YouTube for now. Please don't go to the website. The website side doesn't work. Become a member here on YouTube. Just screenshot your membership, send it over to me on email, 247@gmail.com. And then what we'll do is we'll send you access to our members-only Discord area. And there's a lot more coming. We're going to change the website very soon. I'm very lucky. A really good guy called Ken has kind of helped rebuild and restructure the website, so it's going to come back. It's going to look much better. I can't wait to launch that. And coming up soon, in the not too distant future, we got our mobile app that's going to be coming out soon. So we're going to be in a testing phase fairly soon. Okay, thanks very much indeed for watching, guys. And please, as always, wherever you're in the world, stay safe.